welcome back to the Bender Bunker with a little something I'm going to call B-Bender Summertime Twang Fest. It has been a while since we've done one of these. I believe we only got one out in July with our busy summer schedule, but we're going to kick off August now, 2018, with this little number, an unapologetically twangy B-Bender Twang Fest. And so I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do what you just heard in the opening. And if that doesn't help put the yee back in your ha, then I don't know if I can help you. So go grab that Bender guitar and meet me on the other side of the fade, and we're going to get right to it. All right, I'm happy to see you decide to stick around and join me for the B-Bender Summertime Twang Fest lesson. It is quite warm here in the Bender Bunker in August, so I do have the AC cranked up in the background, so I'll use my announcer voice to project, and hopefully the background noise won't interfere too much with what we're about to do. As with most of our lessons, our key to success will be to divide and conquer. And so the first part of this lesson we're going to go over is this part right here. Ending in G because this lesson is in the key of G. All right, and since it's in G, it's no coincidence that we're going to start up here at the top end of our G twang box, which is on the 10th fret. So what I'm doing, and by the way, this lesson, just to make it real easy, we're only going to use the top two strings. We're just going to twang the heck out of the top two, so don't worry about the other four. There, it's already got easy. So what I'm doing is I'm starting with the top two strings on the 10th fret. I've got my middle finger on the B string and my ring finger on the high E. And what we're going to learn to start with is, that's all we're going to learn. So here we go. What we're doing is we're starting with your B string on the 10th. I'm striking it and then going to a full bend. Then I've got the high E already covered on the 10th. Hit it. Come back to the still bend B. Drop down on your high E with your index finger to the 8th. Then hit your B and let the bender down. All right? Now, a big key, and I'm going to be going over this, emphasizing this many times in this lesson, is I'm sliding in to start this thing because I think it gives the audio a little bit more of that pedal steel sound that we're shooting for when we try to get twangy. So instead of just hitting it clean, which you can do, I like to slide into it. So I'm sliding into it with my middle finger. Okay, that's what I'm going to recommend. All right, next thing we're going to do is down to this part. So we're coming down here, and again, it's just the top two strings, and I've got my index finger on the B string 6, and then my ring finger on the high E 7th, and that, of course, is your G7 position for G, but we're just using the top two strings of it. So same kind of thing. I'm taking my index finger this time. I'm sliding into that B string on the 6, and then I'm hitting the bender when I get there, fully engaging it. Then the high E on the 7th. And yeah, I'm going back to the B string, but I'm not actually noting it. I'm actually just going to ghost note it. I'm using it more for rhythm. So I'm going. That's what I'm shooting for. Like that. So notice also on the second part, as I get there and I've got the bender fully engaged, keep the bender engaged. Don't let it down, even when you come back to that ghost note. Because the next thing you're going to do is take your index finger, drop it down to the top two strings on the 3rd fret. And then you're going to cover that, bar those top two with your index finger, start on your high E, and then hit your B string, and that's when you're going to let the bender down that you still have engaged. From that position now, we still got the top two barred with our index finger. We've just let the bender down. They're ringing. Take them back to a full bend. Like that. And that's nice because you don't have to pick it to get that next section back, and the less pick you do, the more pedal steel kind of sound I think you're going to achieve. So from the top, this is what we've got so far. Alright, now you've got the bender back engaged. Go ahead and hop up to the high E on the 5th with your ring finger. Grab that high E on the 5th. Hit the still bent B. The high E on the 3rd that your index finger is covering. Then come back to the B string that's still bent and let it down. Sounds like this. right, so from the top. And the next thing we're going to do is I've got my index finger, of course, there on the 3rd fret. I'm going to go ahead and substitute the B string 3rd fret with my ring finger, and I'm going to put my index finger on the G string, your 3rd string, on the 2nd. That's just all we're going to do down. I've substituted down, so now I've got my ring finger on the B string 3rd, and then I've got the G string 2nd, little waggle with my index finger, and then I hit the string open. Okay, so here's from the top, a little bit more up to speed. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is exactly what we just did, and when we get down to this part, instead of coming back into it, we're going to jump an octave. So this is going to sound like this. So to get down there, it's exactly what you already know and love. But now you're not going back into it. You're holding it down there. What you're doing is you're jumping an octave. So you're up your 3rd, jumping up to the 15th. So when you do that, okay, so what I'm doing is I'm taking my index finger, my target is the B string, your 2nd string on the 15th, and when I get there, I need the bender fully engaged. Now, like I've been doing, I'm sliding into it, and then I'm hitting the bender by the time I get there. Right? And then I keep the bender engaged. I pop up to the high E string on the 17th with my ring finger. Go back to the 15th B string, still bent. And now I'm hitting the high E15, which is being covered by the index finger. And then I'm hitting the B string to let it down. That's what I'm doing, actually. Even easier than I thought. When you get there, it's the B string on the 15th, high E17th, go to the high E15th, already covered with your index, then hit the B string and let it down. That's what it is. Alright, so it sounds like this. That's all it is. Alright, so from the top, well, let's just finish it. So here we are. That's the ending. And we're ending where we started. We're jumping back down to the top 2 strings on the 10th. And by the time I get there, I've got the bender engaged. I'm hitting the high E first on the 10th, then the B string with the bender engaged, letting it down. And then I'm dropping down my index finger to go to the 2nd string on the 8th. So now I've got those two. And you can get really staccato and quick with this bit. Alright, so that is the first section of this bad boy. Let's play it from the top. 2, 3, 4. Not too bad, right? Alright, so we're going to go over the second part here in a second. I'm going to go towel off and crank that AC down a little bit colder because things are heating up. Might be the lick. Stand by. Alright, let's finish this bad boy off out in style. This is what it's going to sound like the second half. And again, it's just the top 2 strings. So let's start this second half with a position we already know. Your index fingers on the B string 6 and your ring fingers on the high E7. And the positions we're going to cover on this are going to be that. They're going to be taking our index finger, barring the top 2 on the 10th. Same thing, top 2 with our index finger on the 13th. And then we're coming up here. By the time I get here, it's the B string on the 18th with my middle finger and the high E on the 19th with my ring finger. So those positions again. It's getting all the way up there. Okay, so now it's just how do we attack them, how do we slide them, and there is a lot of sliding actually in this section, and it's this. Because when we get to our index finger, and we're just going to be using it on the 10th, and we're going to use it again on the 13th, there's really no reason to let it up. And so let's just go ahead and slide it up there and use that to our audio advantage. So again, I'm starting by hitting the B string on the 6. And we're doing a triplet thing here. So it's coming back to it. High E 7th, back to the still bent B. And then when I get to here, it's not a triplet, it's just 2 notes. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So practice that. You want to get it clean as you slide up with your index finger to the top 2 on the 10th. You can get kind of slinky with your bender, and it is a rhythm. You're going bone da da bone da da bone, and the rhythm's going in time. Your bender's going in time with that. So that's really what we're doing right there. Let's get that down. So now we get here. We're going to go ahead and keep our fingers up there at the end of our run. We're going to go ahead and keep them where they ended up, because we're going to let the bender down. We're going to hit the B string again on the 18th, high E on the 19th, where our fingers already were. And then we're going to come down and cover the top 2 on the 15th with our index finger. So, except let the bender down when you hit your 2nd string. That's what we just did. We're going to pop down like we started, top 2 on the 10th, got the bender engaged before we hit your high E, go to your 2nd string, and then hit the 2 and let them go back up with the bender. You don't need to pick it, just go back up with the bender. So again, it sounds like this. Do it again. It's just when we get to the end, instead of going, we're going to do like we learned before. Drop your high E down to that B string on the 8th. Same way we ended the first time. All right, so here we go. Excuse me, 3, 4. That's the entire 2nd part. So now I'm going to show you how they all fit together. I'll do the first part we learned, put the new 2nd part in there, and you'll hear it all in context. All right, I'll try and do it kind of slow and get most of it on camera if I can. Here we go. 3, 4. That's the entire thing. You now know the entire B-Bender Summertime Twang Fest lick. I'm going to go ahead and fire up the backing track, play it in context, and let's get on out of here. This turned into a long lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, any parts of it, as I always encourage, take the parts you like. You don't have to learn the whole thing, but take the parts that caught your ear and make them your own. There's no copyright to these. I stole them from somebody. So I hope you got something out of this. I know I enjoyed doing it. If you liked any part of this, go ahead and give it a thumbs up there on that UFace channel. If you have any B-Bender friends that don't know about the bunker yet, this would be a good time to share this video with them and introduce them to the Bender Bunker. I believe this might be the 20th B-Bender lesson video we published. So I think I can finally safely make the claim that the Bender Bunker offers the most B-Bender lessons of any channel on YouTube, bar none. I didn't say the best, but I said the most. I might stick by that claim. All right, I'm going to do some more summer traveling here in August, so I don't know how many more lessons we're going to get in. That's why I want to definitely get this one in while we could. And I'll try and do what I can here, and in September we're going to get back to a much more regular schedule when the junior B-Bender goes back to school, and I'm going to be in the bunker a lot more as I was before. All right, thanks for watching. I'm going to fire up the backing track, get on out of here, and you continue to have yourself a great summer. We'll see you again. Don't forget the motto, it's never too late to go on a bender.